Hello and welcome to Cloud Nation TV, everyone. We are live. How's it going?
Man, it's going great. Going great. A lot of news, graphic cards. Holy crap.
A lot of news coming out. It's going to be pretty interesting. So, tonight we got Ray, we got Maker. Vet isn't there because it's his wife's birthday right now. So, of course,
Happy
he's being
birthday.
the gentleman and taking the night to be a gentleman. And we got the gaming advocate, Chase, as a rigger. What's up, Chase?
What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. Shout out to the chat. And man, wasn't yesterday a fun time? I'm looking forward to talking about this.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I haven't had much time to dig into news. I did see a few things that's really hyping me up for that, but I need to hear more. So we're definitely going to talk about that. But first we're going to go around as usual, see what everyone has been up to, what you've been gaming, what happened. So Ray, why don't you start?
Sure, my man. There's a card game called Marvel Snap that I've been streaming and playing. I play it on my phone. I play it on my PC. I was playing it before the stream. I almost didn't make it to the show because I was playing this game. And it's Marvel characters, Marvel superheroes and villains. They got a certain hit point and they got a power point and they got certain powers on the card. I've been playing that. And then on GeForce, let's see, what have I been playing on GeForce? A Plague's Tale. I played some Extraction. Yeah, that's about. And then a lot of XCloud stuff, man. It's just crazy. It's just so many games, man. I can't keep up.
Yeah, and we haven't had a podcast in 2 weeks, so that's even more to cover. So awesome, man. Just to go around the clock, Chase, welcome to Cloud Nation TV again. It's good to see you, man. What have you been up to, man?
So Jedi Fallen Order. Still trying to finish that up because I think Pentament's coming up, right? So we've got that in a couple of like a week or so. We've also got Somerville, so I actually want to try to knock out that game. So meaning Jedi Fallen Order, so that I can play these two games coming up. And then I also still have the Ascent to play, so that's on my radar, which is supposedly supposed to be a good game. Other than that, I had an okay week. Monday I had food poisoning, unfortunately, so that sucked. Didn't get to enjoy Halloween, so I had to call out of work. It was bad. It was not a fun time. But other than that, yeah, I'm just as always excited to be here with you guys. We always have great conversations about stuff. So I'm looking forward to the topics and what we talk about.
Awesome. Maker, what's up, man?
Not much, just gaming and working mostly. As far as games, kind of slowed down on World of Warcraft since it's I've done all the basic content that's currently out in Classic. So I've been kind of shifting over, playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 with you, leveling up my Dragoon. It's a Dragoon now instead of a Lancer. I have been playing A Plague Tale Requiem, which is, in my opinion, is a very good sequel to A Plague Tale. It's a lot bigger, a lot nicer looking. There's new mechanics. It does a really good job of being kind of taking a step up from its predecessor. I guess the only complaint I would have is it's pretty long, so I feel like the pacing's a bit stretched out. But overall, like I'm really enjoying that game. Other games that I've been playing, a little bit of Modern Warfare 2. I think that's just about it for me.
Awesome. As for me, I caught a bug, got me very sick. Like I had COVID a year ago. This felt worse. So I've been pretty much on my ass for a moment there. But it did allow me, because the kids were sick at home as well. So I had to watch over them while my wife was trying to get some work done. And I did play a bit on my tablet. I got a Lenovo Chromebook Duet, so it's a combo tablet that I can snap on or off the keyboard. And I did use it to play quite a bit of xCloud. Played Lucky's Tale, the little fox that you play platformer, and it played fantastic. So I played a bunch of xCloud games just to see the performance. And I actually saw something today. And apparently, Xbox just rolled out optimization for the Chromebook, so it is what I noticed basically. So Chromebooks and Linux just got a brand new optimization for xCloud, and that rolled out not too long ago. And on my tablet, on my Chromebook Duet, it's been performing clean like crazy. Like it's really phenomenal the performance I've been having. Some games feel like it's playing native, so it's been really impressive. Like no pixelation, nothing. Like it looks better on my tablet than it does on my computer. So I can actually see a difference. So yeah, been having a blast with that. I'm playing some games here and there. Played a tiny bit of Persona 5. Will be sinking a bit more time that I used to play on the PS4. Now I'm starting again on xCloud, but definitely worth it. It's a great game. Okay. Other than that, I've been getting back into Final Fantasy 14, like Maker's been saying. I'm very, very close to finishing Realm Reborn, the main quest of the original game after the refurbished it, pretty much. But it's been pretty fun. I'm excited to try the expansions finally because I heard so much good stuff about it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, a lot of gaming here and there, while keeping busy with the family and everything. But it's awesome. Really happy with my gaming experience lately on a few platforms. I did also play a bit of Plague Tale Requiem. I played what's it again? I played so many games like I can't remember them all. Just loading my GFN to see what was my log. Well, that's about it. I also played, like as usual, some Fortnite and a bit of No Man's Sky, but didn't stream all of it. So now we're gonna look at the news, but I think Chase really wants to start off with what
No,
happened.
don't put that pressure on me. Don't do it.
You don't want that pressure, because we can talk about it, or we can start with some other stuff.
I mean,
let's get into it. Let's get in. Let's get into it.
So AMD just announced their brand new lineup of RDNA 3 GPUs. So a bit like NVIDIA's got the 40 series that they announced and they're starting to ship out. AMD has the RDNA tech, and now they're at RDNA 3. So, and it's pretty awesome hardware. Like the PlayStation and the Xbox are using RDNA 2 tech inside of it. Now it's the third generation of RDNA that's coming out, and they unveiled their last gen of GPUs, and they've got some pretty impressive specs. I didn't have much time to dig into it. I just read the big lines. So you want to go over it a bit?
I mean, yeah, and then if there's anything that I don't cover, Ray and Maker, I guess, could fill in if I miss something. But so couple things, and some more stuff came out today. So I do think it's important to frame the conversation on one part first before we get into like all of like the specifications and all the like brand new stuff. So on just pure performance, the card will be close to and possibly get some wins against the 4090. The card that it's likely going to compete against more so than anything will be the 4080, just because of the price point and where it's coming in at. So just to kind of set the stage there. However, I do think it still will be competitive against, NVIDIA's best card. So that we'll see how that plays out. Now getting into like all the good stuff, the things that should make people excited about just the competition now that we're seeing between AMD, NVIDIA. Now you have Intel, right, in the space, is that the price is important. So the highest card, the XTX, is going to be $999. That's $600 cheaper than the 4090. That's a big deal, especially in the landscape that we've been in and that we're moving towards with just, tougher economic times. Price does matter. It will play a factor. It will be part of the conversation. So that's important. The XT is going to be $899. So that's also good. They're going to have a increase in performance on ray tracing. I think they said it's a 1 or 2 times increase is what they were explaining. So again, they're probably closer to the 3000 series now than they are the 4000 series in ray tracing. So again, just to be authentic on that. Price per watt, you're getting probably the best value when it comes to board power. These cards at maximum are only using 355 watts. That would be the XTX versus the 4090, which is using about 450 watts of board power. So you're also going to save money on electricity. That's a big deal. So what's the biggest takeaway though? For me, I think it's now going to be content creation and streaming. Those of you that have kind of followed the story of my content, not to just get into this, but just to talk about it briefly. I have an RX 6800. And Ray knows and Maker knows I was having and you do too, Doctor. I don't know why I'm not including that, but yeah, I just had a terrible time with the card when I first got it. And even over a period of months, it's not a card for content creation. It's just not, you have to do a lot of workarounds. It's a lot of work. I've got it to a good place now where it's feasible, but would an NVIDIA card have been better? Absolutely. Right out of the box, it would have been the better option. This card doesn't do the best when it comes to encoding or even decoding when it comes to video rendering, right? That's just not the type of card that it is. This card coming out, the 7900, it's going to have AV1 encoding and decoding on board on the card itself. That is a massive deal, huge deal. That cannot be understated. They're going to be doing smart access video, which is the same premise as smart access memory, moving the processing of your video rendering and everything else across both the CPU and the GPU so that you're not, overtaking the system completely with memory usage. That's a massive deal. Now, again, we have to see if the specifications hold true with that, but that's a big, big deal. Like, again, we're moving into a place now where this is a viable option for people. I don't think we could, just be honest. We couldn't say that last generation. Unless you were just playing games on an AMD card, that's really what that card could have been best for. Once you start going beyond that, content creation, video processing, it was a no-go. You just couldn't do it. Now you can. And on top of that, they've partnered with OBS. This is something that people were asking for. I was pleading with them, please talk with OBS, get this to work. And then AV1 is such a massive deal. Like even NVIDIA during their presentation was still talking about NVENC. AV1 is going to change the game. As soon as Twitch brings it on board and YouTube brings it on board, you're going to be able to get upload speeds between 2 to 3 megabytes. That's a massive deal, and getting just amazing clarity with your stream quality. And I didn't talk about this on my video today, but the AI scaling that they have for text, where it actually clarifies the text in the game for you in post-processing,
Right.
that is insanity. Like, they've really taken a lot of care this go around in thinking about how do we bring this card forward and meet the demand of gamers at every level. And they showed you during the presentation of what their mindset was here. I'm probably missing something, but I'm not excited because I'm going to get one. Let me rephrase that. I said that the wrong way. I'm not getting one right now. The reason I'm excited is I'm excited for people that this is now going to be an affordable option. Asking someone to go pay $1,600 for a top-of-the-line card versus $1,000, it's still not great. $1,000 is a lot of money, but that's a big deal. That's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
Minus 600. Yeah, that's a pretty nice difference.
It's a
Big jump.
yeah, sizable.
I think AMD has always been kind of like the cheaper option in general. With their CPUs and GPUs. I think the big thing is going to come down to how it's going to truly perform once people get their hands on them and their software and drivers. Because I know specifically their GPUs have had a troubled past with not getting proper updates, especially for like titles. When titles would release, AMD cards sometimes would have issues. Whereas like with NVIDIA, constantly seeing rollouts for new titles, Modern Warfare and all these with specific updates to optimize performance for them. I think that's where AMD is going to really need to shine if they want to grab, gamers to really utilize them. I mean, I think the streaming element is a good one, but I wonder how many are there for the streaming compared to those who just want to game on their PC, and that's going to be a factor as well. So, to me, I'm a wait and see. There have been promises with AMD before, and and some have fallen short, and so I'm just gonna wait till someone with a keener eye takes a look at it.
I know there's some tests that's been done with at least with the new encoder. I think it's back in June. Somebody was like got to play with it, and they actually were able to say that they did fix the problems that they were having, and that it was a massive jump. I think I had it here from Tom's Hardware. I found some. It's in July that they got it. So I'll share it. So yeah, it's an article I got from Tom's Hardware that were looking at the new AMF encoder. That's they say it's finally on par with NVIDIA's NVENC. So that is massive, because that is one thing. NVIDIA's been at the top of the industry without any rivals, in large part due to NVENC. And the reason is any content creator out there would automatically go to NVIDIA when it's available, when the supply is there, because of the NVENC chip. It's the better encoder. You're able to stream your games with less of an impact on your graphics. And so it's a no-brainer. If you're going to create content, you're looking for a GPU. If NVIDIA is available, and we know in the last 2 years it hasn't been as easy to find them, but if NVIDIA is available, that's what you go for. Now, Tom's Hardware were able to do some tests, and they found that the new AMF encoder on AMD, that it could match NVENC. That is a big deal. That opens up our hardware, like Chase was saying, that's much more affordable for similar performance. That now works well for streaming without an impact on your gaming, without as much of an impact on your game. So that is massive. So we'll see more and more streamers streaming games that will use the AMD hardware thanks to that. So that will push some sales for them, because streaming, like, it's word to mouth, like you're sharing like your experience with your hardware. People will want to match your hardware if you have a good experience with it. So it's selling a lot.
That encoder that you were talking about, just FYI, that's not the new one. That's the old H.264. So that's
Really?
that's for current.
Yeah, that's a
gen.
different encoder.
Yeah, AMF
Okay.
is H.264. So that's the current one. So that's what I use when I do streaming. But you have to get a good quality, you have to do a higher bit rate. So you have to usually be between 7,000 and 8,000, which is not ideal. That's a lot of upload speed. So again, what this is going to do though is dropping down to that 2 to 3 megabytes up to get to like 1080p is gonna be a big deal.
So let me jump in here, gentlemen. First of all, let's talk about the display 2.0, 2.1 display, 165 hertz with 8K. I mean, the streaming, they're working with Samsung. They showed a giant monitor on the screen, folks. Like, I've been looking at this monitor. It is huge, and it's they're working with the company to use the maximum streaming and everything. I think this is great because it's powerful but not overpowered. The DisplayPort 2.1, it's cheaper. And will it beat the RTX 490? We don't know, but nowadays, man, people 1,600 or 1,000. I mean,
Do you have a link for that monitor so I can pull it?
just pull up the showcase.
Oh, you talking about the 8K ultra wide?
Yeah, just pull that showcase up, man. And they have it on the screen. They're working with Samsung. And they're also working with other companies, and they've been working with other games that they said to work with other graphics in the games. Like, what's that?
Forspoken was one.
Yes. So I think that's great that they're talking to these developers that are creating these games to get the best graphics.
Yeah, I think to what you said though, Ray, is like I think price is going to matter a lot. See, I think that's the difference with this generation.
I'm also curious as to how many people adopted the 3000 series cards with G4 or NVIDIA, because that one was an extremely popular option when they dropped those. And it's going to really depend on how much of an upgrade it's going to be from the 3000 series cards for people to make the decision. Because I know a lot of people who are passing on the 4000s because they're not seeing as significant of an upgrade compared to the 2000 to 3000 series. So I know me personally, I'm probably going to be waiting until the 5000 series for GeForce to decide what I'm going to be getting next. Just because like my current performance, the 3000 series does a great job. And for cost, it's cheaper than both those cards that AMD just announced. And that's the one, what I'm wondering. Like some of this might be good for maybe an enthusiast level, but as in terms of like cost for performance, the 3060 series is pretty dang good.
I mean, they list a bunch of games and they put the different frame per second rates on there with these games, and they're pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not denying that. I'm just wondering how the adoption will be of it, because NVIDIA does still have a major player in the game at the moment.
Well, I think so. I think to that question, and I know we were talking about this the other day, but here's what I think it comes down to. And Ray said it earlier of what really put NVIDIA on the map. It was streaming. Right. It wasn't just gaming. It was also streaming and NVENC. And that really pushed them over the finish line for multiple years where no one was even close. So if you're going to have, go ahead.
I just want to say I wouldn't just say that was the reason. I do think it was a factor, but for me, the reason why I shifted from AMD to NVIDIA was price performance. Like NVIDIA consistently started to outperform AMD, like price for performance, and so I started shifting more to their cards. I got great that they messed up the 970 with the 1.5 gigs of VRAM. And that was a bit of a fumble, but the 1080 was like a staple card for a long time.
I mean, honestly, guys, I mean, December, we won't know because we can't just base off the past because that's the past. We got to see what these reviews say come December 13th when people are buying these when they compare it. We'll find out when all these reviews are coming out for these games. But like I said, whatever happened back then is back then. So sounds like they got their crap together and they done a lot of work. They worked on this for 3 years with a lot of people, so hopefully they've correct the mistakes and stuff. But like I mean, if I was to build a PC, and the presentation that they did, and I watched it from the beginning to the ending, and I watched all the different managers and the VPs that came out, the presentation was top notch. The graphics that they had where they described the games and everything that they said, they sold me. It sounds good.
To me, it's gonna be up on like the influencers and these tech reviewers what they think, because I do think that they hold a pretty high
I agree.
importance in a lot of people in the PC gaming community. Like Linus Tech Tips, if he comes out and he says like this blows,
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
No,
They
every-
actually, both of them came out and said that AMD's finally bringing the game.
Mhm. Well, that's what I was going to say is for many years. So I'm not talking about like an individual use case and not even mine. If you go back and you look at like stats, performance, sales, NVIDIA and AMD were, I don't want to say they were close. NVIDIA's always been ahead, but it's not been like by the margins we've seen over the past decade and a half almost. And the change that happened was, again, their RT cores, the tensor cores. And then when they started doing the streaming software, that really changed the game. And then they took a massive leap. So now you're going to have a gap close. You're going to have an option where, and this is important. And NVIDIA is going to go in this direction too. They all are. AV1 is going to change the game. AV1 is going to change the game. And when you can actually stream with less consumption, memory bandwidth wise, and upload, and AMD is the one card, with the exception of Intel. Intel's talked about it, but they still have to do optimization with their cards. So I don't think they've leaned as heavy into AV1 just yet. But AMD is. Go back to the NVIDIA presentation. They're still talking about NVENC. AMD's like, forget about all that. We're focused on the future. AV1's where it's going to be. They are leveraging that. They're telling people now, you want to stream in the best quality? This is where it's going to be. So they've already they've planted that seed in people's heads now. And you couple that with the missteps that NVIDIA made this year. This is the one time where this year I felt like this is the moment where NVIDIA dropped the ball. Previous years, they've kind of gotten away with it. This year, they didn't. That 40, 80, 12 gigabyte situation, there's people still mad about that right now.
Right.
I'm fine with it now. They said their piece. I'm like, cool, let's move on. But there's people still really upset about that they tried to pull that. And then when they released the prices, it's one thing to be a premium option. It's another thing to go above premium. And that's where they're at right now, in my opinion. So like they're pricing themselves out of the market, which is the difficult part. And I agree with Maker. I think there's going to be people that look at the 3000 series cards because there is a good value there, but you're still getting a good cost per watt with these cards as well. So this is going to be a very interesting generation. It's not going to be like the previous generations where NVIDIA just runs away with stuff. You're going to have the gap close significantly here. And I said it on my show yesterday. This is my honest belief. I think yesterday was the day that it starts AMD shifting towards becoming a leader. Doesn't mean right now in this moment they're the leader, but this will be the moment in time when you look back and you go, wow, this is where they changed the landscape. This is where it changed overall. I'm sorry. I think somebody else was going to say something. So
no, you're good. I was just going to say, like, I do think AMD is going to get some ground, as you said before. You know, the fumbles with the 4090 and the way they designed the 4080 in particular. It definitely ruffled some feathers. I just think that more so NVIDIA is probably going to auto-correct with the 5000 series. And I think that's where the real competition is going to be, is whenever they do drop this 5000 series. Because if they do see significant loss in like users, that means that they're probably going to play a little bit more competitively.
those graphics cards better not be the size of my case. That's all I'm saying.
I've seen.
I think they're gonna autocorrect. I think they've realized that it was a mistake to go that route.
Good Lord.
I mean, the XTX is a 2.5 slot card. You know, like the 4090 is almost 4 slots. That's insane. It's almost half this. It's literally, I don't want to say half the size of a Series X. It's literally the size of a Series S. It's insane.
No, it's bigger than a Series S.
Yeah.
It's much bigger than a Series S.
Yeah.
It's J2 Sand. He put it upward next to a PS5, and it's almost as big as the PS5.
It's crazy. I did think of something else just now though that I didn't say earlier. I don't know that any of us said this, but it's also going to be the one card where it's plug and play.
Right.
You don't have to worry. Like they're going to cover, I think, almost 4, if not maybe 5 generations here with the CPU side of it, which also means board support.
Right.
So this isn't going to be like an NVIDIA situation where you got to go upgrade potentially your board, and you might have to get a larger PSU, a power supply. So I think the transition here, this is why I think this is a different moment. And I listen, if we were having this conversation last generation, I'm on board with Maker. Like 100%. I'd be like, yeah, no, I like the card I got, but he's 100% right. It's just there's too many like things that have happened this year that make it the perfect storm for there to be a shift.
How many people got 8K TVs? I saw you just highlight that. How many people got an 8K monitor TV running at
It's the fact that it's 8K 165.
It's future proof.
I don't know anybody who is even
personally,
isn't that what you said, Ray? You're like, it's
2K.
future proof, right?
I'm talking about the future, man. And look
like
here.
10
Just
years
because
in the
you're a
future.
broke ass, there's people that are. Hey, Project Storm got an 8K TV. Hell, I was looking at an 8K TV, man. I mean,
Holy hell!
What that's like the 0.0001%.
Do you understand my point now, Doctor? This is what I was trying to point out. The AV1 situation,
8K.
When people start realizing what this encoder is going to be able to do,
Stream to YouTube in 8K 60.
come on, man. That's like the game changer, bro. That's a game changer. See, you just in denial because you.
No. I just don't think that having the newest or like brightest tech.
These kids, bro. That's what these kids. These streamers, you know what they're talking about? They're talking about esports on the presentation. They were talking about doing this crap with esports, man. Can you imagine esports with this technology playing games?
Well, the problem is, like, if you're running esports, you're probably not playing it at 8K 165 hertz.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know.
There's a lot of people still running like 1080p monitors for esports.
They were on the presentation. They were talking about Apex, some of the stuff that they're implementing in the games like Apex and stuff.
I've seen some 1080p was like 240 hertz monitors. Was what a lot of them run.
It's like
I have
the
1080p
RX 7900 XT, not the XTX, but the XT has 20 gigabytes. So even the lesser model, has 20 gigabytes of memory.
Whew.
That's massive.
Yeah,
that
24 VRAM is a big deal. But remember, again, the way that this card is processing, it's got 2 separate basically memory paths depending on the what type of process it's doing.
It has a wider bus for sure.
Yeah.
But I will say that it's not as fast as the 4000 cards because they're not using because I believe the 4000 uses a slightly better memory.
It's not. It's GDDR6X, I think, and they're just using standard GDDR6.
DR6, yeah. But I think with a wider bus, you could potentially have faster transmission rates. It's just going to, as of it's going to determine based off of performance and how it utilizes those buses.
Here's going to be the crazy thing. If this thing's only off by, let's say, last generation, so 6,000 versus 3,000, right? Most of the wins were AMD won, and they did have some wins. And then where they had the losses, they were within 10 frames each way. If they're anywhere remotely close to that with this card, considering its size, and they still get some wins, I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. There's too many. It's too many things. It's too many things.
I just think it's going to be difficult with the hold that Nvidia currently has on the marketplace.
Face like, come on, man, some concessions.
Look, see, so for
I said
look,
that they're
man,
going to make
you
leeway.
got some
They're gonna,
Nvidia fanboys here, man. So you ain't gonna break nothing
I'm
through
not
that.
an Nvidia fanboy. I
You
used to
are,
be
you
strictly
are,
AMD.
you are, you are.
I'm running with an AMD
I'm just,
CPU. Like,
look, money wise, look, ain't no way in hell I'm pulling out my credit card for no $1,600. Ain't happening, bro.
I
Ain't
will
happening.
say
Ain't
as
happening.
someone who's used FSR and has used DLSS, I find the DLSS is a lot better in
Well, of
terms of
course it
quality.
was. You're talking about the first
Yeah.
generation. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
but
100%
No.
better.
Even like FSR 2. Like
The thing is, we're talking about AI processing that improves your quality. The more devices you have out there, because this is gathering data as you use it and feeding the monster, basically.
but
So
so
the
is
more people are
DLSS
using
as
those
well.
systems, huh?
But so is Nvidia with DLSS. They're using the
No,
AI as
but
well.
that both of them, the more you have devices using that tech for the longest time, the more users are using it, the more it's perfecting the algorithm and pushing it back to both Nvidia and AMD. Now, Nvidia got that tech much sooner, and they got it in the hands of many more users. So it's been improving a lot over time. Now AMD is finally pushing it, and they finally have something in their hands that works. So as people use it more and more, they'll find ways of optimizing it, and it will improve as well. So we might have an
Oh,
equivalent in both.
I'm not I'm just saying in the current market, Nvidia is doing extremely well, especially with the 3000 cards.
Yeah.
Even with the
yes,
failure of the
yes, I
4000.
agree. I agree. I agree.
And
We're not
eh,
knocking down Nvidia except for the fact that they're asking for a very high price right now,
to to
and it's
say
good to
that
have
AMD is going to
competition.
take over the market is a
I'm
bit of a
not saying I
stretch.
didn't say that. I just said that I think a lot of people have you got options and choices now,
I'm
and
Why don't you?
I'm
Why, no, 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 don't
I'm
say it to
just
Ray.
saying
You can say
be
it
a
to
little
me
bit
because I'm the one that said it.
I'm just look. I mean, honestly, man,
that's what
like,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
mm,
I'm waiting until we
mm.
see performance and
Yeah,
see
I agree. I agree.
people.
But for the price that you're paying and what they are offering,
It's what they're advertising.
and the
It,
chip, bro, the chip, that chip is amazing as well. I, bro,
like
man, did
What
the
what
problem I have is like Nvidia does this too. They show a bunch of numbers trying to showcase that look
Yeah, they
how
all do.
great our new yeah, and
and I know that's why you wait until it comes out and you get to see it.
yeah, and like I pulled up, just looking up at the RTX 4080 series. You know, they were showing look at the 2 times performance on Microsoft Flight Sim, and look at the 2 times performance, and they're gonna do that. They're gonna make it look good, and that's why I am reserving my judgment for
Well,
when we finally
I
see the
realize
numbers.
now where I've gone wrong in this conversation from the beginning. Let me explain just one more time what I mean, and I'm just going to say it a different way. I'm not saying AMD is going to win because they're going to be the better performing card. Let's just get it clear. They're
Right.
going to win because they're putting forward and innovating with features that NVIDIA did in the previous generation. They're doing the exact same model that NVIDIA did, and they're
Mhm.
offering cards at a lower price. That's going to be the difference here. That's it. It's guaranteed. You're right.
I would argue Nvidia does just as much innovation as well. You
I
know,
didn't. No. That's not what I mean. Hold on. That's not what I mean. It's not about who innovates more.
They're
What I'm
always it's
saying
always
is this last generation, they leapt further ahead in innovation, and AMD was kind of standing still. I think NVIDIA this go around. Let's just be authentic here, and I think we can all agree on this. Their ego is a little high right now. It is because they thought they could get away with that 4080 12 gigabyte situation, and they knew that was wrong. They knew it. You can't convince me otherwise that they didn't sit there in a room and go, yeah, this probably isn't a great idea, but guess what? We're going to make some money. That's exactly what they were thinking.
that,
So
that's 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 why I'm wondering if Nvidia course corrects with the 5000 series, AMD's going to have a lot harder time, and that's why waiting for the future to see. Because if NVIDIA stays the cocky route, yeah, I can definitely see AMD doing really well and getting a lot more space in the GPU.
Trust me,
get more
they
leeway
will.
in the
They will. They're going to do what Intel did, and
Oh,
AMD
I
passed
think
Intel. It's the same
The
thing.
the thing is, Nvidia's been the king of the hill for so long without anyone even getting close to them. AMD was trying to, and they were staying down the slope really far, really, really far. And now they got AMD that's starting to push them away from the top of that hill. So they're coming for them. And we got Intel, who's bringing a product
That's right.
that's coming in fast.
Yeah.
So we're going from a one superior card ruling everyone to a 3-man fight.
And hold on, and let's be clear: the A770 beat out the 4090 in several 3D benchmarks, and it's not even an optimized card. That is insanity with that architecture. If they ever get that to a place where they have it dialed in, that's going to be a problem for both AMD and NVIDIA.
Yeah, just for anyone not following it, the A7070, that's one of Intel's GPUs they announced. It has issues with a lot of games. If you play old games, it's not optimal at all. You'll have issues getting good performance. It still works. But for some of the recent games that did do the proper optimization for their Intel Rebar, the performance is
like smart
crazy.
access memory. Yeah.
So the performance is quite something. They perfected a product there. So we got a 3-man situation.
It's good that Intel's joining space, but just like with Stadia entering the cloud space, I am going to hold off and see the adoption.
Oh yeah, but they're in the race. They're used to not
being in the race too, but they're not anymore.
All it's going to take is NVIDIA to lose, and I'm just going to give you a conservative number. I'm not saying it's going to be this high. I'm actually going to go lower than what I was going to say because I actually think it's going to be the number I was just thinking. But if they lose 6% of the market share, 6%, that's enough to do damage, and that's enough to make their shareholders lose their minds. And that could potentially happen with these two brands coming in. That could happen. I think the number could be higher than that if I'm going to be very honest with you. I think it's
you'll likely find no GPUs on the shelves for a while when they come out. It's all going to sell.
Well, I don't know. Supply seems to be increasing pretty heavily with GPUs at the moment. We'll see.
Yeah, because of the crypto miners, but it's still there are some sales in every front. They're selling really well and they're profitable.
It's going to really depend on adoption of Intel and whether people are going to go forth with AMD with these new cards, and I can't tell you what the market's going to do. I just know if one of them provides like a better option for cheaper, like just look at the Ryzen CPUs for the cost point, it was performing just about as good as Intel, but significantly cheaper. And if AMD can pull that with their GPUs, then yeah, I can see them,
that's all. That's all I'm saying is history has told us a story, and it has been true in every end of the consumer marketplace. It's fact. When you offer something that is good,
because AMD was pretty popular for a while, and then Intel with like i5, i3, Intel rose up, got really big, and then AMD came out with the Ryzen, got big, and so to me, it's
Intel's coming back right now.
You're Maker, you're right, but what is the story of why that happened? And that's the historical context. It's that every time that this has happened, and Intel's starting to now make their way back against AMD again, like you just said, they're offering something that is better at a lower price. It always comes down to price with consumers. And that's my point is history has told us this story. We saw it happen with the Ryzen CPUs. Intel got way too cocky. And then AMD came in and said, we're going to offer you equal performance or better for less money. And every time that's happened in any consumer product, it's not just about gaming. Look at any consumer product. People go with the cheaper option. That's why this is like an inflection point. This is a moment where there's a real opportunity here. And you listen, we could come back in March and you could say to me, you know what, Chase? I need you to apologize. I need you to apologize to me.
Hey, anything's possible. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They're getting ready to put these on the cars, man. On the electric cars. Did you hear that? Also in the presentation as well. Can you imagine driving in your electric car, playing with these damn?
You can have a 3D map of the city broadcast on your screen in the car that's generated in real time, compound with scans of your car, warning you of whatever's coming your way. If you didn't see it in case it's dark.
Similar thing?
Huh?
Didn't NVIDIA announce something similar?
Yeah,
as well?
NVIDIA is working on something like that. They're releasing it. But you're going to see that from every companies now.
My thing is, it's going to be dependent on whether, like, competition. Is NVIDIA going to respond to this? Is what's going to happen with that? Are they going to compete with pricing? You know, and I that's all I'm saying is I'm not going to say that one's going to completely dominate another, because
I didn't say dominate. I just said they're going to lead.
There's one area where NVIDIA is in trouble.
Tell me to apologize to March.
And to me, it's not technology based. You know, as I said before, it's not always about having that best technology. It's what the consumer sees and thinks is a good product.
Yeah. But here's one issue NVIDIA is having at the moment that they tried to remedy, and the court said no, is that now you'll be able to find entire rigs made of Intel hardware, entire rigs made of AMD hardware, and you're going to have some mix and match with NVIDIA. So there's no NVIDIA CPUs. They tried to get ARM. And they were denied because it would create a monopoly, but yet the other two, they can do it. So I don't know if we're going to see an NVIDIA try to come back. It's like, we tried to acquire that company a moment ago. You said no. We're moving on with the acquisition. You'd better say yes, because right now it's totally unfair. But it is a thing that right now you're looking at, like the Intel rebar. If you got everything compatible with Intel, it's going to improve your performance because it's all compatible with one another. And these likely going to work toward optimization if your entire rig's going to be AMD. That's going to be interesting to see. So, and yep.
I was just going to say, and like I said to Maker earlier, come March, if I'm wrong, he can tell me, apologize, Chase. Apologize to me. And I will, but I think this is the turning point. I really do. There's too many factors here that tell me that I've seen this story play out before. I've seen it happen before. It's happened too many times, and I'm not going to ignore the signs. You know, like and that's not. Listen, I don't have any. What is the right way to say this? I don't have any reason to be on either side. I just go wherever the best value is. I did the same thing with this card. I bought it because you couldn't get NVIDIA cards at the time, and it was the better value at the moment. So I'll always go where the best value is. If that's NVIDIA, guess what? That's what I'm going to buy. If it's AMD, guess what? That's what I'm going to buy. I don't have any allegiance to any of these companies. But to say that NVIDIA they can't have a competitor come in and take them out of the top spot, I don't know, man. That's ego talking to me. I'm not saying that's what Maker was saying, but I'm just saying in general, I think they realize what's going on. They're quite aware that this is not going to be the same situation of the past 5 to 7 years. That story's over. They're not going to be able to get away with the massive leads that they've had before. It's just not going to happen. So I'm excited, and I'm more excited for people that, like Ray was saying, you have options and affordability. Like, there's going to be people that they might go buy their first PC because now a graphics card where they can stream is an actual affordable option with the performance that they've been wanting. See, and that's what's going to make this interesting. That's what's going to make this interesting. And wait till we see the lower graphics cards. That's what I'm curious about.
And during that whole presentation, it was about gamers. Gamers, gaming, streaming, boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, we'll see. We shall
They're
see.
definitely sending a message.
No, they 100% are. Ray, did you watch? I think you did last year. We had talked about, but the presentation for the 6000 series cards, there was no talk about streaming at this capacity. Nor even close.
No.
They had a whole 15-minute segment, Doctor, talking about OBS and AV1.
Right.
I almost fell out of my chair.
Well, dude, I mean, there's what did they say? There's like billions of people gaming all over the.
Look at this. Look at this is what I'm talking about. Look at this commitment, commitment from them.
We are happy to announce at AMD as a diamond sponsor of the OBS project. Damn.
Commitment, man.
Now, we're CloudNationTV, so of course we have to talk about that aspect. What that means for cloud gaming, what it means for the AMD Epic server blades. So they got the AV1 codec optimized. They're shipping out on the home, like the hardware that you can buy now and store the GPUs for your desktop, which means that there's going to be a lot of optimization done to the drivers, to the software. They got something good on their hands, hopefully, and we know like they started really getting it big on the server blade, like for cloud servers hardware. They've been shipping some around. I'm not sure. I think it was rumored that Sony was looking into acquiring some of them. That there's multiple companies that were looking at them. Now we're talking about something that can rival the NVIDIA SuperPods, which they use for the RTX 3080 here for GFN. But with the AV1 codec that can do 8K 165, it's 8K 60 for streaming. So we're talking 4K 120.
So are you trying to say that we're going to get an AMD cloud gaming service? Is that where you're going with this?
I wouldn't say AMD. I'm saying like NVIDIA GFN has been really powerful in the scene, but we're seeing services out there, and I've talked with Vet a lot about this because we did spot the hardware in the wild. There are some companies that started buying the NVIDIA SuperPods and started rolling it out. Boosteroid being one of them. If you use Boosteroid right now, you can actually in some games inspect the hardware you're using it, and it is the SuperPods that they're using. There's other companies that started acquiring those, but we're going to see companies also acquiring AMD Epic blades. And we know currently the Xbox and the PlayStation use AMD tech for their GPUs. Now, if they stick with AMD and they start rolling that out, and if they do upgrades to the instead of using the Series X chip like they do now, they can opt in to instead use those AMD Epic blades, and PlayStation can do the same on their side. We're talking about some very interesting scenarios.
My mind can't comprehend this right now. I'm not ready.
Playing some Xbox and PlayStation games in the cloud at 4K 120.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome.
Right, I'm right there with you, man. I can't process that. Like that is a thought that is not.
Well, you know, AMD did have a partnership with Google and Stadia, and so, I mean, who knows?
was right around here, a bit lower. Because that's what caught my attention earlier.
Yeah.
That's the encoder. That's what you need to stream.
hmm
And we're not just talking about Twitch streaming or YouTube gaming streaming or Facebook gaming streaming. We're talking about cloud service streaming as well.
Yeah,
So,
it can do everything. It's multi-purpose. It's not just for
Right. Right.
it's
and
for
this is hardware meant for at your home. This is your desktop device. Now, if you're talking about server blades that are cooled in a data center, super cooled, that are in a controlled environment, you can generally push your hardware quite a bit more. So it will do quite all right if they do server blades using the AV1 tech that they have here that it says it can do 8K60. So I would expect that if they just lower the benchmark and do 4K60, performance should be pretty darn good. Like you shouldn't have much pixelation going on because you're nowhere near the limit the hardware is supposed to be rated at. And then eventually they could roll out 4K 120.
The only thing I would say concerning AV1, I'm not sure if they've addressed this with its encoding, but last time I checked, AV1 was better on bandwidth, but the big issue that I saw a lot of people have was at higher resolutions or higher data flow, it was a lot slower than some of the other options.
Yeah, basically you need more recent hardware to have like the AV1 codec. Like if you're watching YouTube and you want to watch YouTube in 8K, because I do believe there's some 8K streams available on YouTube if you have the hardware, but you need the hardware. So you're not going to be able to watch YouTube in 8K on pretty much anything, or it could be a 4K. But there are some higher resolution YouTube videos available in AV1. And even though it's just a playback, it will require that you have hardware AV1 compatible. So if we're talking about streaming, now the G Cloud, I believe, is compatible with AV1, right? Chase?
I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Pretty sure I saw.
Maker, what you were saying about the bandwidth efficiency. So if it has AI and ML, so machine learning, then I think there's some bypass around that. But I don't know. So I think a lot of the tests that were done, I think Doctor was on the right track with it, is they were doing a lot of tests with things that weren't fully optimized yet from a data center perspective. So I think I'm just going to take an educated guess, okay? Because I don't think there's any proof one way or the other. I think once we get the current AMD data center GPUs that are supposed to roll out, and then we get the NVIDIA-based ones that are now going to be for both of them are enterprise, right? Enterprise solutions. I think we'll have a better idea of which encoder they're finding gets the better bandwidth efficiency, to your point. I just don't know they've done any of that testing with the newer stuff yet. I think when they did it this last go around, they were doing it with the last generation enterprise cards. And I don't think they were optimized for that. So they probably weren't getting good gains because they probably weren't thinking of them from a perspective of cloud gaming, right? It probably was just for local, like internal streaming or assets, to your probably what you were going to say. I don't think they did it for the purposes that we're talking about here. So I think that will probably be more, that'll be clearer when we get to that stage. And I could be wrong on that. The only reason I'm saying I could be wrong is it all depends on what they intend to use them for. Because unless a company is actually buying those and saying we're only buying these for cloud gaming and then testing it with that encoder, we're probably not going to get a true sense of the actual bandwidth consumption, because I don't know that they're going to push the card or the rack with those on them to that point. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
what you're talking about is something that they are working on right now. I guarantee you, in the next 3, 4, maybe 5 years, the AV1 code that it's going to be upgraded. I mean, just look where we were back then, and look where we're at now, and look at all the different Android and Google TV and all these other, the RTX 30, all these others that are using the AV1 codec. It's going to get upgraded, and it's going to definitely, we'll see.
Yeah. Also concerning AV1, I believe our NVIDIA supports AV1 as well with their cards.
No,
Yes.
they do. They
Yes,
do.
they did.
Yeah, the
They
newer
did.
one, yeah.
Yeah, they did. I'm looking at a list right now. I mean, they've Samsung Galaxy, Roku Ultra, LG AKTV, Samsung AKTVs, RTX 30 series graphics, Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, Chrome. I mean,
Most
the
of them
list
do.
goes- I mean, holy smack. So, yeah, they all did.
The only thing, so I think the reason that I actually, so on this one where I kind of agree with Maker, but only because I don't know for sure, is when you get from some of these services, it's a static stream, so you're not getting input and everything else, and then bypass back the other way. I don't know from a data center perspective if we've ever gotten a true sense of where that stands for the purposes of this, because they just haven't used the hardware. And you're right, Ray. I think at some point it will get to that. I don't know if this generation, I just don't know. I can't say it confidently in a way where I could be like, yeah, for sure, I think it's gonna work.
The development was started in 2015, so for mass adoption, we should wait for another 2 to 3 years.
I'm curious because sorry, I was searching stuff on NVIDIA as well on this AV1 encoding.
What's up, CT?
I found out that NVENC also has an AV1 option as well.
It does.
Yeah, they've always had one built in, but they didn't. So it's
because I'm looking at their encoding efficiency, showing the NVENC AV1 being 1.45 times efficient compared to their NVENC H264.
But that's what they just started rolling out for this new generation. So everyone's going to move towards it. It's just they didn't focus on this during their presentation, because it's not available on the platforms yet. So like Twitch and YouTube, so there's not really a need to. They don't have to, but I think planting the seed and being forward on it in the way that AMD did versus even what Intel did, I don't think was as clear. I think is a better path, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling. Sorry.
Okay. I'm not sure. I think it's a Razor Edge that was compatible with AV1.
Just throw me off the show, Ray. Throw me off the show.
No, man. We got a good topic. Good topic.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, because like the AV1 was one of the big of AMD, and I just wanted to make
did
sure.
Did that just blow you away, Christopher? Man, did the stats and what they're gonna do with those cards and that chip? Probably Razor Edge. What's going on, Ludiverse?
Oh, Ray was talking about this before we went live, and Doctor, you brought it up too. So they're going to be making custom, full gaming stations. AMD's partnering with some third parties, so it'll be kind of like what Alienware did with NVIDIA in a way. But this will be a complete full AMD setup. Everything will be AMD. So they haven't released like what that's going to look like or what the pricing model is, but I'm just excited for people, because I think there's some people that are actually going to entertain going into PC gaming because of this.
when I used to go, there's a computer store, and I used to pick up the box, and I would like, can you unlock that so I can look at the graphic card? And they would and put the box in front of me, and I would sit there and I would look, and I'm like, holy crap, the prices, man! Like how? But I mean, I think that's a fair price for the card. I do. I think that's a good price and what it can do. And like I said, gotta watch the review. Anybody can tell you anything on stage, and anybody can put up a graph. They can tell you anything until you actually physically see it or you see somebody doing it. We will know. I wish they would have demonstrated and put that sucker inside a machine to let us see. But I mean, December's just around the corner, folks. We're gonna find out. But I'm happy. I'm happy. There's gonna be a lot of happy dads and happy girlfriends or whoever is a gamer. And yeah.
I think the reason they didn't show anything though is because it's a brand new architecture. Brand new.
Nah, demonstrate that. Demonstrate that. Don't sit here and show me it. Show me what that thing can do. Demonstrate it. Put it in the damn thing.
I agree. I'm just saying that's probably why they did what they did though. Because
I hate that. I hate that. I like when they have they're like, oh, this is what the chosen one, the chip and everything. What's her name? Lisa Sue. Slap all that crap together and show us what it can do on stage. So
yeah, that's one thing I like about NVIDIA's presentations. They usually have something where like this is showcasing the new tech that we're doing with DLSS or with our new cards that we're coming out with.
Because
By the way,
everybody
just wanted to say thanks to Bert Taylor for 50 stars on Facebook Gaming.
Thank you, Bert. You rock.
It's
Yeah, because I mean, you got guys. I mean, just like the RTX 4080, people with their credit cards ready to buy it, and then you realize that there's issues. It just had to be affordable because Micro Center computer stores in my area building game PC for you, but can be pricey. Yeah, I agree, man. I got a super computer store out here in Fremont, California, and Happy girlfriends,
LOL. I feel included now. Thank you, Ray.
Can I tell you something? Every time now I go on Twitch or I go on Facebook there's a lot of game. I mean, and I look. You see these rigs next to these girls gaming. Holy crap! And they got the RTX 3080, 3090s. They're gaming and they're just as smart as us.
Gaming ain't just a boys club anymore.
It's like, I mean, it's hardcore, man. So
absolutely. What was that? Is that a dog?
Dude, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. No, that is a demon dog next door that tried to eat my dog. Okay, they got signs saying "Beware of dog." This dog tried to jump over our fence to get to my dog.
I thought your TV was possessed, man. I was like,
no,
what is that noise?
No, that's that's Cujo next door. You ever see the movie Cujo? He's a mean.
Yeah, but is your dog Taco Bell or?
my dog. Oh my god, my little doggy. He's so friendly, but this dog is crazy, man. Look, shut up.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know what that was. That's why I was like, what's going on, man?
Dude, that's it. I be gaming. I have to blast my game up so I don't have to listen to him bark.
Well, I was concerned because I thought
he's not yapping; he's barking.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was Maker at first, and then when he muted and I heard the sound again, I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, that's my neighbor's dog.
Yeah, no, I couldn't put up with that. That I would have to have a conversation.
But yeah, to come back to basically what's going to happen with the data centers, because also it's Jeff Grubb talked a while ago that he saw Intel do a presentation where They pretty much had a notebook, like a lightweight notebook that's almost a tablet, playing the
Let me shit. Hold
Matrix
on. I
demo at like
apologize.
no issues. Playing at like 15, 20 FPS, and they activated something, and it sent some of the processing power to the cloud from that little notebook. And then the Matrix demo apparently went from like 15 choppy FPS to a smooth 60 FPS in very little amount of time, because it was leveraging the cloud to make that game run better and smoother. So Intel is also investing in the cloud. So we're having Intel getting active in the cloud. AMD, we know they're developing cloud rigs that they want to sell. And we got NVIDIA with the SuperPods that we're familiar with, because they do pretty kick-ass performance. So we're getting a 3-player fight for both our desktop computers, but also in the cloud data centers. Can you still hear us, Ray, or you're just hearing the barking? We can't hear you. The dog is muting everything.
Yeah,
You muted,
I'm
Ray.
interested to see how it plays out, how Intel
Hold
fares,
Still
on.
and
hear
how
you.
AMD.
Now we can hear you. You
All
were
right.
gonna say you're interesting to see how it'll play out.
Yeah. What's going to take on, and like what people are going to adopt.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're just gonna be, for once, see some diversity in the top tier gaming. And because up to now it's been only NVIDIA all around.
Right.
Now we're gonna see competition. So it'll get interesting.
You got to have a
more than one
conversation with the
option.
next door neighbor, Ray. You have to.
They won't open the door.
Poor doggy. I
Fuck
feel
that
for him.
dog. Fuck that dog.
So I think we pretty much covered that story.
Yeah, thanks, Chase.
That was awesome. It's pretty awesome news on that front. I'm just scoring through it. Man, there was a lot of stuff since the last podcast. Oh yeah, there's one news I didn't mention earlier quickly. So xCloud has done some optimization for Chrome OS and Linux, and I did witness it without knowing that news. I just found out about that article today. It actually was published today. But while I was sick on the couch, I pulled my Chromebook tablet out and I started playing on xCloud. And it just felt like playing local. Sometime a tiny bit of pixelation, but not a lot of it. And like xCloud has been performing really well for me. But that was beyond, like, that was crazy good quality. I did a lot of screenshots that I posted here and there, and it's like picture perfect. And it's like, okay, some games still get a bit of pixelation here and there, but vast improvement.
I played Sea of Thieves today with SPG William, and it looked amazing. I played it on the cloud service, and it looked really good. Like, holy crap.
Yep. And it's really good. I get no latency anymore on xCloud, whether it's on my desktop or my tablet. I like that I've got the touch control. I can also use a controller, so I brought one of my controller up there for when I pull out the tablet if I want to play a game that needs it. But altogether, performance is really good now. So you said Sea of Thieves are looking really good for you?
It looked like and I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating. It looked like if I was playing it on my console. I was very impressed that it was a cloud, and I'm just sitting back and I'm like, holy cow. But there is other games like when I play Sniper Elite 5, I do see a lot of like pixels and weirdness and stuff like that. So it's just certain games is good and certain
It's
games, it's just
it's
weird
kind of
like that.
odd.
It is.
It,
It is.
if I pull it out right now. So this is the what I started using is the progressive web app. It's pretty much similar to the browser, but performance is really good. Oh, there's social tab now that they added, so you get access to your socials,
Yeah.
and they added some menus over. So you got the this one's like welcome to the preview feature, so you can see your friends what they're playing. Soon you'll have messaging built into that app. But it's like uh, Persona is one of the game that's really well optimized. But even like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, yeah, it's telling me the network issue, but it shouldn't be. But Odyssey is not as well optimized as other games, but it still looks fantastic. I've been having a pretty great experience altogether with that. Just launching it.
Yeah, I agree, CT. I do see some issues with the brow. Man, it's like it really depends on the game because I do see it, and then there's games that I'm like, holy cow! This like I played baseball. Baseball looked freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's not as consistent.
Right, I agree. I agree.
They definitely have some room for improvement, but the in June, X I keep saying xCloud, the cloud gaming beta, it was unplayable. June of this year, it was unplayable. And in just July, August, September, October, in 5 months, they've made massive improvements to this service, that's a small amount of time to get big returns like this. So I'm really curious to see what do we get in the upcoming year.
Well, it's still in all fairness, it is Xbox still. It's the app is a beta.
Yeah.
I've got this on a 4K screen right now, and it's not 4K at all, but it does look good. So there's going to be pixelation around because there's a lot more details on the screen than other games.
Right.
So it won't be as picture perfect, but that is very impressive for xCloud. There's no latency. I'm playing right now. It's really fluid. I don't have a bow yet. I barely started the game.
So you know why
Just to
that
see how
is,
it
Doctor?
performed. Yep.
Direct capture. They started that new process where they bypass it going from the card through I don't know how to say it the right way. From the card to
So there's
out through
pixelation.
the Maker, help me out here. I'm saying this wrong. From the console to where it sends the signal, encode, decode, and then back out. That was kind of like the issue. Now what they do is they take a direct feed from the console and stream it directly to you, which reduces the latency, they said, by between 30 to 40 milliseconds of latency.
Yeah. It it's a more streamlined where it pushes the data out faster rather than it have to go through all the processes, as you said, which it cuts down in latency.
Like it might not be as crisp as some other stuff we've seen. There's still a bit of fuzziness in the graphics, but it's still excellent and it's extremely playable. Like I don't feel like I'm losing from the experience because it's on xCloud, and yeah, it would look better on other platforms, but we're at a point where xCloud is extremely usable. So this is looking pretty good.
Well, and I think to be fair, you're also using a this is like StreamYard, so it doesn't do a good job with like picture quality for those that are
Yep.
watching this.
StreamYard, this is basically Melon. So Melon, StreamYard, those kind of software, the frames will be choppy. So what I've got in front of me is super fluid. It's high frame rate. It's no issues there at all. Yeah, the moment I turn my eyes, I see like it's a bit more choppy on the stream, but on my gameplay, very fluid. So definite improvements. Very happy about this. And even here, I'll load it up. But Forza is a game that's been known to be problematic in the cloud.
Yeah.
A lot of movement, a lot of pixelation. It's on around November Stadia Pro games. Come on. Hey, Anthony, what's up?
What's going on, dude? What's going on, guys? What are you guys talking about?
Talking about the news right now. We're looking at xCloud and the huge leap they just took in terms of quality. I just want to feature that game very quickly just to show how far they've come, because it's phenomenal. The difference from just even a few weeks ago, that game, when it was starting to get better, was still problematic with pixelation. And right now, I'm playing, moving, and it's not a glitch fest. It's pretty smooth. No latency. It's going really well. So graphics are pretty clean there. So really happy with what I'm seeing here. So again, on this stream, it's a bit choppy because of the software I'm using. The gameplay I've got is extremely smooth, extremely fluid. You can see the reflections really well. Everything is just running so well on here. So
Anthony said, hope you're doing well, Anthony, by the way. Said, I was just playing xCloud a few minutes ago. When you're playing games with bad graphics or with high graphics, it's really bad. Yeah, I think we were just talking about this. It's inconsistent game to game. Like there's still moments where certain games run better than others. But I think it's also still a testament to cloud gaming is not perfect. Like depending on where you live, depending on your distance from the data center, depending on your network conditions, each service behaves a little bit differently. Like, I mean, GeForce Now runs well for a lot of people, and it runs terrible for me for whatever reason. Luna finally runs a little bit better with the G Cloud, but everything else still have issues. The one that runs, again, it's not perfect. It's got some room to improve, and there is still, again, from game to game, those performance differences, but it's now the cloud gaming beta that runs best for me. It's just weird. It's weird, it's I don't know how else to say it. Like
So Doc, I think you were out. I don't think we talked about it, but I know we're talking about Xbox right now, but the PlayStation Plus is having some issues.
really?
Yeah, they're losing subscriptions.
Oh yeah.
Subscribers.
They're still making money. Don't get me wrong. PlayStation's still making money.
They're making more money actually because some subscriptions are more expensive.
Right.
But they lost like quite a bit of subscribers.
Yeah, I believe it was 1.9 million subscribers.
They just announced their VR system.
Oh man, don't get me started on that. Don't do it. So did we get any data from, and I don't think Xbox would release that probably because both of these companies have not been as transparent as I would like them to be. So it's not just a PlayStation thing, to be fair, but I don't think Microsoft said whether or not they lost anything. I know they said that they were down in some revenue, but they didn't clarify if that was from losing subscriptions or or the other. I think just both of them are struggling from a content perspective because Game Pass, they don't have all the new games just yet. That's going to happen next year. And PlayStation still needs to get some newer content. So
I believe Xbox said that Game Pass continues to grow, same as their previous message. But I think the specific number was that they announced that they saw an 150% increase on the PC side.
yeah,
So I
PC.
think that's what subset, maybe some losses on the console side.
Yeah.
But the thing is, PlayStation has been dominating the console space for a while. Xbox now have a very good product. They're catching up.
Yeah, because for every PlayStation sold, or I'm sorry, for every wait, I gotta say this the right way. So PlayStation is beating Xbox by 1.5 consoles, which is the lowest it's been, I think, since right at the 360 era, right? I think I might be right on that. I think that was the last time that Xbox actually had leads.
Yeah. Xbox had a lead for a moment towards the beginning, the Xbox 360 era, and PlayStation came back towards the end when they lowered the price at $299. That was a big hit, and it brought back the PS3 to win the race at the end. But still, Xbox did really good in that generation. And then, the PS4 versus Xbox One, Microsoft lost sight of what the gamers wanted. So they lost big on this one. But now, with Game Pass, they were scoring big time.
Donnie from PSVG said it the best. Microsoft was losing, so they literally flipped the table and said, "We're not playing your game anymore. We're gonna just do it our way." And then they went.
Yeah,
it's software, it's services. That's what they're doing. They're not even focused on console sales. That's why they're trying to get into mobile. They're trying to play a much different. PlayStation is in a hardware conversation. Microsoft's like, that's fine. You play that game. We're not going to play that game. We're not going to play that game. I'm not saying I agree with it one way or the other. And I'm not saying that in the long term, Microsoft is successful there. Who knows? I mean, right now they seem to be going in a good path, but they are losing money. So, just because
PlayStation understood PlayStation understood the value of that game, and they're now trying.
Yeah, I mean, if they start throwing more day-and-date content on there, then we're going to have a much different conversation on our hands. That's what I keep saying. Like, the moment that happens with PlayStation.
That's the only reason I've been contemplating, like, canceling it. But I can't because there's just so many classic PlayStation games that I haven't played or finished. Or there's just games that I played in the past that I want to go back and play. That's about it.
The problem I have is I upped it because Stray was coming out for PS Plus, and then they kind of stopped those newer releases dropping onto PlayStation Plus. And I had to upgrade. I had to pay for that full year of PlayStation Plus Premium. And so, they got my money on that one because I thought that maybe PlayStation was going to start to push more day and date titles onto their subscription service, and it definitely seems like they're not going to do that.
No,
not right now. They aren't. I mean, but I think if they get more, if they get more PCs. Oh, sorry, Doctor. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
it wasn't important. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say they are getting some pretty interesting titles on there, but they're older titles. And I think you were going to bring up the PC side of it. I think that is something Sony is waiting for. Right now, they're setting up the stage. They set up their subscription. They're trying what works, what doesn't work. But they're bringing a lot of games to PC. And I do think eventually that will play into the subscription. Because we got a PC client. I've said it many times. That app is outdated. that is still the PlayStation Now app that they just changed the logo for PlayStation Plus instead, and they're rotating the library. But everything else, like I'm pretty sure, like if I click any games, that'll say 720 for the resolution. Just oh no, this one says 1080. If we go into older title, just gonna try to find one that's been there for a while. I know.
Yeah, but they got PlayStation got their hit game coming out in a few days, God of War, which is yeah, they're gonna make a lot of money on that. They're gonna make a lot of
Looks
money.
like they might have updated it.
Yeah, they fixed that. It used to say 720p for the titles. It now actually says 1080 because they had updated the app to say to a 1080p streaming for the longest time, like last year. But you would go in the description there, and it says maximum resolution of 720p, and you'd launch the game, and it wasn't 720p; it was 1080 and up, because you have local upscaling using your hardware that makes it a tiny bit cleaner. If you got a like a 4K screen or 2K.
I'm curious. I'm curious as to how long it's going to take for the PC app to get updated once the Ratchet and Clank titles drop on it, because apparently they're adding several Ratchet and Clank titles onto PlayStation Plus Premium.
Has it already been added, or it's being added for the anniversary, right?
They're being added November 15th. They've got Ratchet and Clank, the PS3 version, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, and Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, and Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction are all coming to PlayStation Plus Premium on November 15th.
Those are good games. It would be ideal if they updated at that time.
Are there's going to be cloud streaming?
It says premium, so I'd assume so. Oh, they're all PS3 titles, so it has to be streaming.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So,
they've been notorious about not updating the PC app in time for the drops. So I'm wondering if they're gonna finally update it in like coordination with it releasing.
Ray was talking about God of War.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. Can't wait to play it next week.
Next week is huge. It's going to be massive.
Oh yeah, it's rivaling the critic score is rivaling Elden Ring.
Whoa. Yeah, it's 95 right now to score, right?
94, I believe.
94?
Yeah.
I said something that was I upset a lot of people here in the last few weeks.
What did you say?
I said that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order had better mechanics than God of War, and I still stand by that.
You're not the only one with that opinion, but
I stand by that opinion.
Jedi Fallen Order is a pretty fantastic game,
and that's coming from somebody that enjoyed the God of War franchise. So I mean, I just think it's better. Okay. Ray's like, get out now.
I will defend it in the fact that I felt less bored by the end of the game with the Star Wars gameplay compared to God of War's, where I fell into a repetition of doing the same thing over and over again.
Hell no.
I've struggled to get back into, like, I really love the latest God of War game.
Boy,
it is beautiful. The story is nice, but I find like I struggle to get back into it. Like I stopped playing for a few days. I was busy, and I went back in it, and it's like, okay, no, it's not. I want to change to another game. I don't know why. I seem to.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I don't know why it doesn't seem to captivate me. As much as I enjoy it, I find the game beautiful, but it doesn't capture me. I don't know why.
I can't get into it as much as I used to. And this is the moment where Ray's like, we're no longer friends.
No. Every to each their own.
I had complaints with God of War, but it's mostly since I played it so much. I did a lot of side content, and there wasn't enough, I guess, variation in the combat. I always found myself doing LBRB for my special, LBR2 for my strong special, swap over to my other weapon, LBRB for that special, LBR2 for that special. You know, so it felt extremely repetitious in combat, and I hope that they improve on it with the sequel. I also hope it's not as grindy towards the end of the game. Like when I got to like the Valkyrie Queen, it basically was like, oh, spend hours in Muspelheim and Niflheim farming to get this new armor. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to turn it on easy and beat the Valkyrie Queen.
I played every single other one on the easy. I don't play those games for trophies. I know a lot of people do, but I just want to enjoy the experience.
I wasn't playing for trophies. I was just playing to enjoy it, really, and that's why I didn't want to spend so much time farming so that I could defeat a boss. And like compare it to something like Elden Ring, where it's more about
shout. Sorry,
where it's more about skill.
Yeah,
it's more about skill and learning a fight than with God of War, where there are instances where you will take damage and you need that better armor to defend yourself against it.
That was Ron. That was a really good title from EA. They did a really good job with that game. It's one of I actually like that game a lot. I wish they would have gotten the budget to make the sequel, but they never gave them the money to do it. So it was a shame because that game was prepared to be something special, I think, if they had done it the right way.
Dante's Inferno was not that popular, but people loved it, really loved it.
Yeah. It had good, like even now, I think if you go look at some of the, I don't know, actually I shouldn't say that. It's probably terrible. The score is probably bad. Never mind.
I'm looking at it right now. The reception, 73, Xbox 360, the PSP 70, PS3 75.
That's what I played it on, was the PlayStation 3. I remember playing it.
Xbox 360.
It was a good game. It took some of the elements from God of War, and I don't want to say they made it better, but they added some different mechanics that made it interesting.
Positive on Steam, which is
It's a good game. I mean, I think people enjoyed it for the story, though. The story was really good. You know what it reminds me of, honestly, and I just thought of it now. Darksiders Genesis. It's got the same type of
right.
It's very, very similar. You know,
dude, like the monsters, the bosses.
Yeah.
Huge.
It was a good game, though. I enjoyed it.
2010.
You said 2010? That's the same, or is it 2011?
2010.
No. 2010 is when MAG came out, Massive Action Game. February.
That's the PC version released in February 9th, 2010.
Hold on, let me see. I have released February 4th, 2010.
4?
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. Yeah.
Well, for which game?
Dante's Inferno, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 was February 4th. Then the PSP Portable came out February 25th, 2010.
Yeah, I think I almost want to say that MAG came out at the same exact time. Either February or March.
Oh man! Wow, MAG.
It was 2010. I remember. Yeah. I remember it vividly. Like I remember when the game came
it was
out.
PS3. Yeah. PS3, baby.
February 11th.
See, I told you.
Wait, no. Actually, no. No, that's the Australian New Zealand version. Game was released in North America January 26th.
Oh, so I was off, but it was 2010. It was first quarter. Yeah, that
Yeah,
game was
Mag
ahead of
was
its time.
fantastic.
It was ahead of its time
I
because of
I
that
remember-
game, we have Battlefield.
I remember playing like 2 matches, and then like I remember hearing about the announcement that they're closing their servers, and I was like, well, that was a waste of money.
Oh man, that hurt. That hurt.
Yeah,
That game should have never launched at $60. I don't know why they did that.
we took it back to GameStop, and they're like, we can give you a penny for it. And I was like,
Hey,
I mean, I guess that's fair because you can't really play
you
it
guys,
anymore.
sir, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to give this back to you. I'm like, what? Come on, just give me. I mean, I'll take a quarter or something. Can't you? I'm sorry. You know, it makes a good collector's item.
I tried to take mine back, and they did the same thing. They're like, "Yeah, there's no point in us taking this from you. It's not worth anything." I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
having a disc for Fortnite.
It's sitting over here in my collection.
Wait, say it again,
having
Doctor. You said
It's
what?
like having a disc for Fortnite
Oh, yeah.
or a disc for Modern Warfare 2.
I still have my
At least
steelbook
at
for the
least-
original Modern Warfare 2.
I'm talking about the new one.
I mean, at least you can play the game.
Yeah, but the new Modern Warfare, the disc is like 70 megabytes on it.
Yeah, but I think the difference is like you can play it if you put it in your console because
It has a city key in it.
Ron, see,
Whereas,
Ron,
like,
that's a whole nother show, dude. See, when everybody was playing what the hell was that game? Overwatch.
Watch.
I was playing Battleborn, and they laughed at me in the store. I said, "Yes, can I buy Battleborn?" Sir, you know there's a game that's extremely popular than that. No, I like 2K games. Let me get Battleborn.
Yeah, it did.
And everybody was laughing at me.
I remember trying Battleborn. It was a lot of fun.
Had a lot of cool
shut down by January 2020.
had a lot of cool characters.
2016, right?
Huh?
That 2016 that came out? I remember. I think I remember that one.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
And it was announced that it was closing in 2017. It entered maintenance mode, and then which was a year after it released, and then on 2019 the game servers they announced it would be shut down by January 2021. So
you know, there's another game I'm kind of pissed off that there was a game called Homefront that
was the Revolution one.
Yeah, well, not Revolution, but the first one you could play online with people, and then when they shut that down, you couldn't play online. You couldn't do nothing but just play the campaign story mode.
2010 and 2011 were the two best years with like innovative games. It just that you had like Homefront's one of them. To your point, you had Mag. You had a lot of games that came out that were like way too early. If they came out like around now, they'd probably be successful.
Right.
Do you remember Planet Side 2?
Yes,
No,
I did. I remember that.
That was like Mag on crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mag MMO.
Yeah.
Actually had an open world MMO element, but with
It was like
Mag
three
gameplay.
big teams, you know, with like vehicles, like you could fly around, and it was crazy.
I was big on Killzone. That was my game, Killzone. And there was another, oh my God, what was that game?
Oh my goodness, Modern Warfare 2 did come out in 2009. Oh my goodness. 2006, 2000. So when did the original Modern Warfare is still my favorite of all time. When did that come out? 2006, right?
7?
No, I think you're right. I think it was 6. Right now.
Was Halo 3 2009? No,
I think it was 2010 or 2011, I think. I might be wrong on that.
2009 was a banger year. Uncharted 2 what was that year. Street Fighter 4. Batman Arkham Asylum. That's a good one. Assassin's Creed 2.
Where is the? Hold on. I know we're going way off track here, but hold on a second. I need to know this. Where is the? There it is. 2007.
Origin.
2007. All right. What was the one that you just said? Real quick, you said Halo 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think I was right on that, but just hold on. Let me see. Oh no, we're all wrong. We're all wrong. No, I was way off. Oh my God.
It was like,
Guess again. It
Game are you
actually
talking
came out.
about?
It came out the same year as Call of Duty 4, 2007.
interesting.
Wow, that I did not think that's when it came out. I thought it was later. Am I wrong in thinking that? Like, I thought it was 2008 or 2009. I even said 2010. Oh my gosh, time flies. All right, sorry, we were way off track.
Yeah.
That's all good. So, something else came out. Google Play Games beta. We just lost Chase. So, Google just released a beta to have your games on PC. I gotta say though, the library isn't fantastic.
There's 40 games.
I actually still have it installed. I installed it to see what it looked like and haven't tried a single game. Oh, you coming back?
I just don't understand why it's requiring an SSD to play mobile games.
Thank you. The requirement. I don't even have an issue with, like, if this eventually takes off and people want to play mobile games on PC, fine. I'm not going to judge. But the requirements to be in this is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
The virtualization, I think you got to go in your BIOS or somewhere and turn that on.
I just don't.
It asks you to install something, to install anything, to reboot the computer. They're asking me live, how satisfied are you with the selection of games that are available in Google Play Games?
Yes.
Very dissatisfied? Is there a worse option?
SSD with 10 gigabytes of available storage space. Hardware virtualization must be turned on. Yeah,
there's certain computers that won't be able to run this. Like, I don't.
And it's keyboard and mouse, so you can't use a controller.
I don't understand. Again, no judgment about the games and people that want to play.
No. And shout out to the developers that got their mobile. I mean, Google makes a lot of freaking money when it comes to their mobile and Google Play. But yeah, I don't know about. Yeah.
For a beta, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I would have thought they would have extended this out to more people.
Oh, requirements are too high and you are missing the most popular mobile games that are available on your mobile platform.
I said that wrong. I would have expected them not to limit the limitations to be there to be so many limitations. Not that it would be out to more people, because actually they might want to limit how many people do play this, but it's a bit, I think it's just a bit ridiculous.
Genshin Impact is on there. I didn't think it was.
No, there's some quality games on there. That's why I said I'm not going to pass any judgment on the games or the premise that
it's more the way that they rolled it out is not ideal.
Yeah, that's my issue with it. Like, as soon as I started going through and looking at it, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff missing, and they got work to do. 50-cent blood in the sand.
Oh, I have the My
You guys remember
Xbox.
Black?
I have the skin sticker. Yes.
How's it? How's the game?
Sucked.
I love the message when your library is empty. It's ready to fill.
Oh wow, this game came out in 2003. I was thinking about True Crime. 2003. PlayStation 2. Oh my goodness.
You know what? Sony need to come out and stop playing. Give us some of that SOCOM. Give us some.
Sony definitely needs some more live service titles.
Just give us some
Ray,
SOCOM. Just give us some SOCOM.
Ray, stop it, because I'll go buy a PlayStation. I'll go buy it.
Just give us that 120 frames.
That's the game.
Yeah,
I will go buy a console just for a game. That would do it.
Hey, what about SOCOM VR?
No.
Nope.
Speaking of which, why is that $549?
It is state of the art. It is state of the art. What are you talking about?
It's the VR headset. Okay, I'm just gonna pull it.
It's not made of cardboard.
It's not overpriced. We're gonna say it again. It's not overpriced.
Thank you.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, but it's more than a console in the United States.
Because
the specs. So you have an OLED screen per eye. You have the eye tracker inside of it that's built in. You got cameras all around so that you can see your environment. Yeah, I know there's other devices that have that. There is the controller that has the capacitive sensors in it, so it actually feels how your hand is positioned on it, not just for the buttons, but actually like it feels how your fingers are positioned. There's a lot of fancy details they did in it, and that hardware is expensive. And I do not think that it is overpriced. It's just that it's a very big price tag.
Whoa. You have to plug this into the PlayStation?
Yes.
No.
Why?
No, I'm sorry. No. This isn't a standalone device?
What do you mean a standalone? You got to plug it in.
It's an accessory for the PS5.
Oh, no.
No. The only thing is, it would have been cool if you could also plug it into your PC. You know?
Yeah.
Wait.
I could.
No, stop.
Cool.
This is sounding worse.
That would have been
I'm fairly sure that it's going to happen.
Don't worry,
keep
guys.
saying no, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to come out. It's going to be PS5 exclusive. And then 2 or 3 years from now, they're going to release a peripheral to connect your
By then, the Oculus
that you'll
Rift
be able
3
to
will be out.
connect your...
This is what I'm...
By then, the Rift 3 would be
Stadia
out.
Stimulus, folks. Remember, your Stadia Stimulus.
No.
That's
Come on,
something
man. Look at that.
Really
Look at that. No Man's Sky.
So, finger touch detection. You don't need to push the button. It detects where your fingers are.
The biggest complaint I have is that 90% of like the games that they show are available on the Quest and are available on like on other VR devices. So it's like, why would I pay extra money when I don't for 2 new games?
Well, see, the difference is that you got
It's
the Quest.
PlayStation.
You got the meta. Oh, look, man.
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
You know what? Hey, Cowboy, me and you, we can go kill some zombies on the PS5, bro.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be pricey. Like I knew it was going to be at least $400.
Yeah.
But like the problem I have is the fact that they're not ensuring that PlayStation 4 VR games are going to be working on it. While some games are being ported over to it, not all titles will be supported. Previously, they announced that 22 titles will be available for PSVR 2 at launch, which considering that they've had a lot more titles than that on the PlayStation 4. It's just, to me, it's a mess. You know, they could have handled this a lot better. Even if they had just allowed it to have PC support, I think there would have been people on the PC side who would have 100% bought this system day one. But the fact that it's going to be tied to the PlayStation 5 on launch, there's 1 or 2 exclusive titles. I don't see many people picking this up.
When I got my PS4, I got the PlayStation VR, and I had a pretty good experience with it.
You and 6 million other people.
I had a good experience with it.
But the problem I have is, like, when you compare it to something like the Quest, which has had a higher adoption rate. Like the Quest 2 has sold easily over 16 million units at this point.
Quest, that damn thing, the Meta, whatever, that's gonna put Facebook out of business, dude. That cost them a lot of money.
Oh, it does.
But it's also, that's not a PSVR thing. It's just putting footage while we're talking.
Yeah, and I just don't understand it. Like, they could get, like, why? Just why? There's so many things wrong with this rollout. Like, I've seen so many videos on why this. It's the people who had the original PSVR who aren't getting this one.
It's pricey.
I'm just talking about the price, man. I honestly, I'm not like that. I don't follow the VR space, so I don't know all the stuff. But the fact that you have to get this with the PlayStation, that's $1,000. It can't go over to the PC.
Well, I wanted to point out that the original PSVR was pretty pricey too. It was $400 for the combo.
Yes,
for the original PSVR, and that came with like the Move controllers and the camera and stuff.
Well, that's still too expensive.
And I also got the gun. I got the guns too.
I also wanted to point out that it sold less than 1 million units in its first year. So if that shows you, a lot of their sales seem to come later on in its lifespan when the price dropped on it.
I mean, okay, I don't know.
And that's the problem that I'm seeing with this is, like, if it does eventually come to PC a couple years down the line, at that point probably a better solution will have come out from the competitors in the VR space.
$550. Oh my. Oh.
Absolutely.
It's VR. Hello, it's VR.
Look, if you're into it, all good, all good. I'm sorry, no judgment. I just the price is really bothering me. It's really bothering me.
To me, like, if you're a VR enthusiast, yeah, you might get this. But for a general consumer, I just find it hard to believe that general consumer is going to grab it, unless like Horizon just does super great in reviews and is like this must-have experience. That's the only way I can see it selling.
I would borrow it just to play the Astro's Playroom game they're gonna release for that, because with every piece of hardware now they're releasing those Astro games. So, and they're pretty fun to play.
I'll never forget, I did the Rec Room in VR, and it was all these little cute kids. And I was like, hey, you, Ray, come over here. I was like, hi. Hey, you want to come in my room? Oh, well, sure. And we walked in his room. He's like, look, here, this is for you. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's a joint I just rolled up for you. I was like, whoa, man, how old are you, kid? What the hell is your problem? But
VR weed, man.
What the hell? Let's see. I remember playing Resident Evil, and I got sick off that game. I played some roller coaster games that were awesome. I played a haunted roller coaster that I used to ride that thing over and over and over again, and I had a lot of fun. And then there was a space. You're on a planet, and there's these giant spiders. I kid you not, the damn spiders look real. And I had my gun, not the little sticks, but I had the big rifle gun, and I used to, just go at it. And then Planet of the Apes, I was a monkey, and I fell off a cliff, and I actually thought I fell to my death. But
The
anyway,
only game I ever played on PSVR, I went over to one of my brother's friend's house and
mhm,
played it, was Resident Evil 7. And that was the only game I've used PSVR for.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
what do you
I
think?
didn't have any.
What do you think it's gonna cost? You thought it was gonna cost $100. Thought it's gonna cost
No,
$200.
no.
It has it's like
I knew it was going to be
stated.
pricey,
Yeah.
but
When
I definitely think if this was 400 instead of 550, it probably would be much more.
How
What I
much is
gave
the meta? How much is the meta?
400.
when I had the PlayStation VR, I tried a few games. There was some that were fun, some like you'd see like it needs more work. But I'd say the best experience I had, well, one of them was the shark cage that you go down at the bottom of the sea. That was fun and good to show people around to make them try. It was a fun experience. But personally, the one I had the most fun with, and might sound stupid, but I mentioned it a moment ago, the Astrobot game. So yeah, they actually
No, I
released
had
an
fun.
Astrobot suit for the PSVR, and there's one that you're actually playing a platformer like Mario 64, but it's Astro, and you're controlling him with a controller
Hmm.
going around the level, but you're like that camera following him, and you look around and you have the whole level around you that you can look at the rocks and everything. It looked gorgeous, and it was fun to be floating around in that platformer environment that was so well designed with a little robot you were controlling.
Doom VR. That's all I got to say. Doom VR intense. That was my favorite Doom. And Skyrim. If you guys don't know, Skyrim was a very popular game too in VR. But like I said, you got to experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's been some really good ones. My brother really loved Half-Life Alex, and I just never gotten around to finally playing that one. But I've heard that is the best experience in VR at the moment. Um, but I love Beat Saber. You know, I have it installed. I played through Resident Evil 4 VR, and that was a lot of fun as well. Um, I'm trying to think some of the other, like VR chat is pretty fun. The social experience with that is really good. They have a bunch of mini games in it that are pretty fun. Um, I played a little bit of the Darth Vader game on Quest. It's just with Quest, it's a hand free model. Like you don't need to be tethered to a specific device, and like this one, you will have to be tethered. It's reliant on a device. Plus, it's more expensive than the Quest 2 with very little exclusives. Like you've got Village, the Horizon game, and then a lot of the other games that they announced are already coming to Quest 2 or are already there.
But there's a lot of rumors that they're gonna re-release like PlayStation Home or an equivalent, and it's gonna have VR integration. It's
Until
not
it's
confirmed
announced,
yet, but
yeah. Until it's announced, I'm not gonna. I think at that point it's just a rumor. I think there are studios working on VR titles. I believe Insomniac's supposed to be working on one, but as
they've
far
already
as
produced some VR titles before they were acquired by Sony.
I think we will see some VR titles, but at how like the extent of which it's going to be supported is yet to be seen. I will say its timing is also really poor. February of next year is huge for titles. You've got stuff like Dead Space remakes in January. What are some of other? One moment. February. Atomic Heart, I believe, got announced for February as well. Calendar. Yeah. Just pull it up. And it's like, why would I buy a VR system for VR games when there's so many other games coming out that in that time period?
It'll be interesting to see if they announce anything that they've been hiding.
Okay. I just pulled it up for February. We've got Dead Island 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Wild Hearts, which is the Monster Hunter like from EA, Atomic Heart, Like a Dragon Ishin. You got the Horizon Call of the Mountain VR game. Let's see here. You've got the new Kirby game, Octopath Traveler 2, and Destiny 2's expansion. All in Feb. That's all in just February.
Who you talking about?
I'm just talking about like release wise. Next year is packed, and they decided to plop it in right in the middle of February when there's tons of new games coming out that month.
Skull and Bones.
You know, in like March, you got Wolong, Skull and Bones.
How long?
RE4 remake. It's just.
April is gonna have Starfield.
I don't know about that. May is Zelda, the new Zelda.
And have you guys heard? I've seen. I don't have an article for that one, but I've seen a lot of people popping some images about the Game Pass family plan that's been popping around that right now is in trial in two areas in Scotland or Ireland and in Brazil.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I
thought it was Ireland, Colombia, or something of that nature.
Yeah. So, do you guys think we're about to see it expand in more territories, or?
I definitely would expect it around November, right around like Black Friday time. You know, if they drop that release to several different countries, they could probably pick up some people looking for good deals.
It's would be nice to see Xbox bringing that around because that is a heck of a good deal. Like you can have 5 people on your subscription, so you can split up among friends and just like divide the cost. And it is account tied, so I don't think they specify you need to be at the same address. So
You just have to be within the country, from my understanding. So, yeah, you can share it amongst friends that live in the same country.
mhm. It's a pretty cool opportunity to save more money for getting access to so many games. So it'll be interesting to see that roll out in more territories. Hoping it comes in North America soon enough. Because especially like you, Ray, you're finally gonna get your son to play on his own account.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder, like all of his Fortnite stuff, if it's transferable. Well,
I
you
don't
can
think so. I don't think so.
because is he only on Xbox, or you can get him to tie his account to Epic. So then, if it's tied
It's
to
either
Epic, I think you
PlayStation or
can.
Xbox he plays on. Those are his two systems.
Okay, so if it's the same account on both, then you can delete your account from his Epic account that's tied to the one he's playing, and then he can relink to another Xbox account that he creates, and he should be able to keep all of his stuff. So it might be doable. So you might get back your Xbox ID, man.
We shall see. I was playing a little Apex the other day, and I just got completely owned. These kids, man, holy crap!
I need to give Apex another try. I haven't tried it in a while.
It was, man. Two of my teammates had died. They're like, "Pick me up, stupid! Pick me up!" And I'm like, "Hold on," you know. And I'm getting shot at. So pick this guy up. And about the time I got to whatever thing to respawn him, I died.
Was it certified saying that?
No, wasn't certified.
Because the last time I tried Apex, I wasn't playing Fortnite. Fortnite really got me into the battle royale mechanic a bit more, which I didn't use. I used to not be a fan of, but Fortnite warmed me up to it when they released the zero build mode. So I should give it another try just to see. So, is there any other news we have to cover that we didn't look at? I know there's plenty of stuff, but the main ones. New World got new content.
Yes.
So it's been in rumors for a while because the map was accessible when the game first released. What is it? The Brimstone? Yeah, Brimstone Sands. So it's a desert area. When the game first released, there was someone who was able to trick the game into letting him into that zone. There was no enemies, very little structure, but it was the desert all around. So I think it's within the first week that the game came out, he was able to glitch into that area, but it wasn't complete. So they finally released that area, and apparently a lot of people are getting back into New World because of that. So, which is awesome. I should give that game another go, but right now I'm too caught up in Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, it's good to see that game do a comeback.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure that's all we had for today. So you guys go to if we do a wrap up.
Yeah. Yep.
Ray's getting hungry.
Well, yes, I am. You guys are already 8. You guys are ahead of me. I'm on the West Coast.
It's like bedtime for me. It's like past 11.
7:15 for me.
Ooh. So Ray, where can we find you?
Ray3473 on Twitch TV. Tomorrow I will be doing some Wreckfest on xCloud, and then Sunday I do my G-Force. I don't know. I'm thinking about Phasmophobia or maybe some Blood Hunt. Not sure yet. I might do a new game. Who knows? And yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Just look for my Twitter. I always put what I'm going to be doing. Thank you, Chase, for being on the show, and thank you, chat. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Chase, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Where can we find you? Channel, everything. Go ahead.
You can only find me in one place now.
Twitter.
You can only find me in one place now. So just search on YouTube. Actually, no, that's not true. You can also find me on Twitch. I just don't stream there as often, but on Twitch, it's the Gaming Advocate 2021, I think. And then on YouTube, just search the Gaming Advocate. And then if you want to stay up to date of like when I'm going live, subscribe over there, hit the notification bell. And I am using the community tab. It's kind of like social media. So that's where I put out announcements about if something's changing or I'm doing a different, like a different idea with content. I've been doing more videos, by the way, too. So that's kind of a slow thing that I promised I was going to do last year, never got around to it. So that'll get better in time. I'm kind of just doing some trial and error right now with a few things. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Maker, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Maker of Chaos 12, as well as on YouTube at CGX or CGX Deck. I will probably be streaming God of War once because I got the Jotun edition, so I'm probably gonna have to wait until Wednesday afternoon to start streaming it. But I'll probably be streaming that every evening after I get it, and that'll be on Maker of Chaos 12, Chaos with a K, on Twitch.
I had to turn on the notifications, dude, because I always miss you. And then
I haven't streamed in months, so
and I look on Twitter, and I see you advertising something, and I'm like, dude, come on. Be like Vet and just stick it in your DMs. Hey, I'm streaming. Come watch me.
Oh yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
I'm streaming. Come watch me. Come watch Vet. Me streaming. Happy birthday to his wife.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Vet's wife.
There's Mini Vet and there's Wifey Vet.
Yes, and I think there's a daughter. I almost said
Yep,
daughter
daughter
Vet.
Vet.
Hello, come on, daughter.
So Dino says you can find Doc getting over his cold eventually, hopefully. You can find Ray finding new ways to play with the demon dog. You
Yeah.
can find Chase doing all the things and adding more things to his background. And finally, you can find Maker dealing with me and hiding in the closet.
Hiding in the closet. What Maker? What you doing in the closet, bro? Okay, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
Dino's
And
closet.
I'm not coming out of it, so
It's a good hiding place.
And he
it is
wants
a good
to,
hiding spot.
he wants a AMD graphic card for Christmas.
No, I'm good with my 3080 Ti
I'd
right
take
now.
one. I'd take an upgrade. He never leaves the closet. Man, we got to see that closet eventually.
Oh, it's like a big long closet, so it's great.
Wow.
It's great to hide in with your Steam Deck.
Exactly.
Big
Yeah,
pile of
Steam Deck.
laundry, Steam Deck. It's like
Yeah,
comfy.
Exactly.
I had a roommate. He was weird. He slept in the closet. He wouldn't sleep in his bed. He slept in the closet. It's kind of weird.
I was amazed I got him to go to that wedding. Ooh.
Did
And
he
that's
catch the
sharing his
bouquet?
is that sausages or loaves of bread or just pills with
I'm gonna say those are
crust on it?
baguettes. Those look like baguettes.
Baguettes?
And then
So
he
we got
has
Vet's baguettes on
waffles
the
and
screen.
bacons. So are you at IHOP International House of Pancakes? Where you at? Are you at the Waffle
Currently.
House? Yeah, the Waffle House.
Oh, Dino caught the bouquet.
What?
Is she gonna make a gentleman out of him?
He pushed
No.
the ladies
Make
out of
him
the
wear
way
a
so
bow
he could
tie?
grab it.
Oh,
Was
congrats,
that
Dino.
Applebee's?
So was that
Oh,
Applebee's?
Nice.
No bad language, Maker. Stop showing off your ASL. Awesome. So as for me, yeah, you can find me getting back from my cold, like Dino said, eventually. As for my content, I've been streaming a lot on Facebook Gaming. Well, a lot. Done a few Facebook streams this week. I'll be back to doing some multi streams as well on both Facebook and YouTube. As I'm still pushing both platforms. So you can expect some Final Fantasy 14, some Fortnite, and a few games around. I'm still on Twitter for now, so I'll be posting some updates there, and also be sure to follow me on Facebook there as well, because I'll be posting there as well whenever I go live. As for the rest, yeah, every Friday. Well, we're gonna look into maybe changing the night for the podcast because JD's got a new work schedule. Working for the big leagues, but right now Friday doesn't work anymore for him, so we're gonna chat around to see we might need to do a new schedule around, but we'll let you know what comes out of this. So, but thank you so much everyone for joining us tonight. So good night.
Good night, you guys.
See you later.
Oh yeah.